Good morning, for kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth graders. I'm happy to be able to greet you from our house this morning and share some songs with you and also a devotional for this coming weekend. I'm pretty sure you've been hearing from your parents and teachers and maybe your pastors too that we're in the middle of Holy Week. And that's the week that starts when Jesus comes into Jerusalem on a donkey. And many people think that he's going to be a king to save them. But Jesus wasn't planning on being a regular king. And when he spent that week in Jerusalem, he actually made a lot of people angry by the stories he told and the miracles he did and the things he claimed to be. So by the end of the week, the Pharisees, who were the religious leaders of that time, they really wanted to kill him. Tomorrow, we recognize Good Friday, which is the day that Jesus died 2,000 years ago. And so we remember that. And to help us remember it, my family and I are going to tell you a story today. It's called The Day the Sun Stopped Shining. And there will be a couple songs in it. If you hear a song you know, go ahead and sing along. If you hear some words that you recognize from the Bible, you can say those as well.
So you're a king, are you?
The Roman soldiers jeered.
Then you'll need a crown and a robe.
They gave Jesus a crown made out of thorns, and they put a purple robe on him. They pretended to bow down to him and mocked him by saying,
"Your Majesty."
Then they whipped him and spat on him. They didn't understand that this was the Prince of Life, the King of heaven and earth, who had come to rescue them.
The soldiers made him a sign that said, "Our King," and nailed it to a wooden cross. They walked up a hill outside the city. Jesus carried the cross on his back. Jesus had never done anything wrong, but they were going to kill him the way criminals were killed.
They nailed Jesus to the cross.
Father, forgive them.
Jesus gasped.
They don't understand what they're doing.
People shouted,
You say you've come to rescue us, but you can't even rescue yourself.
but they were wrong. Jesus could have rescued himself. A legion of angels would have flown to his side if he called. People also said,
If you were really the Son of God, you could just climb down off that cross.
And of course, they were right. Jesus could have just climbed down. Actually, he could have just said a word and made it stop. Like when he stilled the storm and fed 5,000 people.
but
But
Jesus
Jesus
stayed
stayed on
on
the
the
cross.
cross. You see, the people watching didn't understand. It wasn't the nails that kept Jesus there. It was love.
Papa,
Jesus cried, frantically searching the sky.
Papa, where are you? Don't leave me.
And for the first time, and the last, when he spoke, nothing happened. Just a horrible, endless silence. God didn't answer. He turned away from his boy.
Tears rolled down Jesus' face, the face of the one who would wipe every tear from every eye.
Even though it was midday, a dreadful darkness covered the face of the world. The earth trembled and quaked. Rocks split in two. It seemed that the whole world would break.
The full force of the storm of God's fierce anger at sin was coming down on his own Son instead of his people. It was the only way God could destroy sin and not destroy his children whose hearts were filled with sin.
Then Jesus shouted out in a loud voice,
It is finished.
and it was.
He had done it.
Jesus had rescued the whole world.
Jesus cried,
Father, I give you my life.
and with a great sigh, he let himself die.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
thankfully, that's not the end of the story. Let's say the end together.
After the Sabbath, at dawn, on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to look at the tomb.
There was a violent earthquake, for an angel of the Lord came down from heaven and, going to the tomb, rolled back the stone and sat on it.
His appearance was like lightning, and his clothes were white as snow.
The guards were so afraid of him that they shook and became like dead men.
The angel said to the women,
Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified. He's not here, he is risen, just as he said. Come and see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell his disciples, he is risen from the dead and is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him. Now I've told you.
So the women hurried away from the tomb, afraid yet filled with joy, and ran to tell his disciples.
Suddenly Jesus met them.
Greetings.
He said,
They came to him, clasped his feet, and worshipped him. Then Jesus said to them,
Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee. There they will see me.
Christ the Lord is risen today. Alleluia. All creation joins to say, Alleluia. Praise your joys and triumphs high. Alleluia. Sing, O heavens and earth reply. Alleluia. Celebrate, Jesus, celebrate. Celebrate, Jesus, celebrate. Celebrate, Jesus, celebrate. Celebrate, Jesus, celebrate. He is risen, He is risen, and He lives forevermore. He is risen, He is risen. Come on and celebrate the resurrection of our Lord. Celebrate, Jesus, celebrate. Celebrate, Jesus, celebrate. Celebrate, Jesus, celebrate. Celebrate, Jesus, celebrate. He is risen, He is risen, and He lives forevermore. He is risen, He is risen. Come on and celebrate the resurrection of our Lord.
Thanks, kids, for celebrating with us today, and we hope you have a blessed Easter along with your family and a good day off tomorrow after you work really hard today. So have a good day.